Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Program. I'm your host, Thrift Barringer, here on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. And we are here at Spencer High School with the Athletics Director and head football coach. His name is Joseph Kegler. He's also a media extraordinaire, too. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you for having me. It's enjoyable to be around you.
Yeah, and Coach, we got a lot we're going to be getting into. And what I like to say in all these interviews is that we get to know the man behind the scenes, who you are as a person, what led you to where you are today. So, right. Coach, no one can tell your story better than you. So what led you here to be the head coach at the Spencer Greenways and athletic director?
So I played at Carver for Coach Davis, okay. Coach Wallace Davis.
Legendary Coach Wallace Davis.
Yeah. So he had a lot of input on me growing up. So from there I went to Fort Valley. I played at Fort Valley. Played for the Columbus Lions for a couple of years as well. And then I got into coaching. And Coach McGee, who's the head football coach at Georgia State now, he actually hired me at Carver. So I stayed there. When I was left Carver, went to Stewart County. From Stewart County, went to Jordan, and I was blessed for Dr. Freeman, who was the retired principal, to hire me to come here. And I'm just happy, enjoying life, and just trying to keep the Green Wave name going forward.
So, Coach, you finally get here as the head man of the Spencer Greenways. Football's always been in your blood, okay?
Right.
And you have been a coach, we talked about it, 18 years now. Mm-hmm. You've been coaching high school football. We're going to talk about the aspects of being a head football coach, what you've done, which has worked wonders with this Spencer Green Wave football program. It's been unreal, and the winning that you've done these last couple of seasons. But the AD part, Coach.
Right.
What led you to be an administrator, to be a leader of all sports programs? Because it's already a full-time job leading one sports program, let alone an entire year of non-stop working. Why'd you want to do that?
I just wanted to give back. A lot of people gave to me and helped me to get where I'm at, so I wanted to be able to give back to our kids and our coaches and just kind of, each one reach one, teach one. So kind of live on that motto. Coach Tinker, who's an administrator in the Noonan area, Coach McGee, they were real big mentors to me. So all the lessons they kind of gave me, I kind of want to give that back to someone else and kind of help, keep moving this younger coaching generation forward.
All right. In terms of being an athletic director, Coach, what are some of the things that you have to do on a daily basis, like just this summer alone? Because you've had 7-on-7. We'll, again, talk football in just a moment. But as an AD, I feel like you, Kendall Mills, and the rest of the ADs, you don't go home. You live at the schools.
Right.
So what are some of the things you have to do on day-to-day operations during the summer?
I say the summer, the biggest thing is just kind of walking around, making sure, see what needs maintenance, what we can get fixed ahead of time, or try to see any problems that might arise. You normally get here early. You get here early, stay late, just trying to make sure everything's on the up and up, and checking eligibility, student grades, bus requests, trying to stay ahead of everything. Because you normally try to stay a season ahead of everything that's coming forward.
Oh, yeah, Coach, because before you know it, I don't know if you've looked at the calendar or not, we start school in 3 weeks.
Correct.
So it seemed like the summer went by just like that.
And we play our scrimmage the day after school starts. So
Holy smokes.
So we'll be right there in it, and volleyball and softball start right before school starts.
Exactly.
So you give us about a couple of weeks, and we're right in the mix of things.
Exactly. Coach, you talked about Miss Patterson, who is the principal here. Mm-hmm. I feel like y'all have such a great relationship with each other. How awesome is it to have someone like her who believes in sports, know it's a front door for the school for a lot of athletes, and getting them where they want to be in life? I feel like y'all got a great working relationship. How awesome it is to have a principal like her that you can work under?
It's kind of a joke we have. Like at Spencer, we're not here to date, we're here to marry. So if you're gonna join us, we want you here for the long run. And she supports us from afar, up close, and it's real important, and the kids like to see it, and coaches as well, just to see the principals in our corner, has our back, and everything we need, she's always right there on top of it to help us out as much as possible.
And you got to have that admin, that athletic director, principal. Y'all got to have the same vision. If you don't coach, that can lead to turmoil, and that's the last thing that you want.
Right.
What's so special about Spencer? I mean, you've been at Carver, you've been in other places. Why have you loved Spencer so much these last couple of years? And I feel like this is a place you're going to call home for quite some time.
I plan on calling it home for a long time. It's just family atmosphere. Same thing, we might fuss and fight behind closed doors, but when we leave, we're all on the same accord. We're all marching in the same direction. And at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. And as long as everything we do is about producing the best student athlete we can produce, the better off we'll all be.
You know, I've never asked this in the other ADs, so y'all don't get jealous when I ask this, but what are some things you've gotten better at since taking over here at the Spencer program, or not just the Spencer program, but being a head football coach, just in general in your time coaching and admin? What are some things that you feel like you've really gotten better at now as you head into year number 18?
Kind of just helping, delegating and kind of teaching it. You know, earlier on it's like, you know, I'll do it myself.
Right.
And I'll just get it done. So if it's not right, it falls back on me. And I'm doing a better job of just, you know, trusting people to do their own job and making sure they do it the right way.
And I think that's a big thing. Is that the advice you give to all young ADs out there?
Definitely.
If that you try to take on too much, that it really could harm you, maybe the sport you're coaching and stuff like that. Did that happen in the past? You feel like you were taking on too much responsibility?
I won't say it was too much, but it'll drive you crazy if you're
Right.
trying to oversee and micromanage everything everyone else is doing.
Right.
So if you hire people to trust them to do the job that you hire them to do. So, you know, if you hire them, you got to trust them to do the right thing.
Right.
And, you know, if they do the wrong thing, you come back, tell them what they could have done in a different way, and just move forward from there.
Outside of, you know, your day-to-day operations, make sure the school and the campus is going good. What about like in aspects of like strength and conditioning? I know you do it for football, but do y'all have a program that helps out all sports over the summer? Like what happens here for Spencer, or do you allow each of the individual coaches worry about the off-season workout program?
So each of the individual coaches handle their off-season workouts in the summer.
Okay.
So they're, you know, whether it's batting practice with softballs, volleyball practice, basketball workouts, things of that nature. Once the season starts, we'll get all the athletes in weight training. So we kind of monitor it more through that aspect. Myself and Coach Allen, who's assistant athletic director, he's also overweight, all the weight program. So during school, he kind of runs all of that. He does a great job with all of that.
I'm glad you brought him up because I want you to talk about your staff who are not football staff. We'll get that specifically in a minute. But talk about your staff as in athletic director. You talk about Coach Allen. Who are some other people that work underneath you?
So Coach Allen is a co-assistant AD. Does a great job. He's also over strength and conditioning for the athletes.
Okay.
So we definitely couldn't be here without him.
Yeah.
He helped all of our athletics tremendously. We have volleyball. We have Coach Smith. She's coming back again. The last 3 years, they made it to the state playoffs. So, you know, they're trending in the right direction. We hired a new softball coach, Coach Cervantes. She played softball in college, so we're excited to see what she'll be able to do with the program. Cross country, we have Coach Aldner, who came back this year for us, him and Coach Tench, who also coaches basketball.
Nice.
She'll be helping us again. Coach Allen, the coach flag football as well as boys basketball. We'll have Coach Pickett coaching wrestling. We'll have, like I said earlier, Coach Tench coaching girls basketball. Going to the spring seasons, we'll have Coach Koshny, Coach Allen coaching girls and boys soccer. We'll have Coach Pickett coaching baseball, Coach Quarterman doing track, and we'll have Miss Hall doing tennis, Coach Guest to be doing golf.
I mean, the fact that he just remembered all of them off the top of his head, and we're going to talk about each one of those specific programs here in just a little bit, but that's pretty impressive, Coach. You got to know your staff. You all got to have the same vision. What's your vision, though, for Spencer Athletics heading into this year?
We just want to push it forward. You know, we were able to win the region or come region runner-up in football, boys basketball, girls track. So we want to continue to take those steps forward and, you know, make us a name in the state level. You know? We want to be a state respected program with on the field and off the field.
Social media, Coach Allen's big on that.
Huge.
And I feel like that he brought that aspect to the Spencer athletic programs and create a Facebook page. How big is that, having that for your school to be able to promote your athletes the way you need to?
At the end of the day, wins and losses are great, but if we can't give the student athletes opportunity to play at the next level, we're not doing our job.
Exactly right.
So he does a great job of him and Miss Quarterman, Coach Quarterman. They run our athletic pages together.
Nice.
So with them doing that, that's a chance for us to promote our athletes. And like I said, that's at the end of the day, that's the most important part.
No doubt. Last question, Coach, before we take a break, and then we'll get into each one of those specific sports you made mention. Starting with football, they start the standard at the beginning of the season. Your relationship with Jeff Battles and the citywide AD, how awesome is it to have someone like him that's in your corner, believes in what you do here, and then always backing you, always giving you what you need to be successful?
He does a great job being a resource to help us with anything we need. Anything goes wrong athletically, facility-wise, he's on top of it. He's literally a phone call away. You know, a lot of people say that, but he really means it. You know, he answers the phone, answers the text, he gets right back to you, and he gets on top of it. So he's a valuable resource that we couldn't do without.
Yeah, and by the way, Spencer's facilities are used a lot, especially the basketball gymnasium for the middle school championships, whatever it may be, Christmas tournaments.
Right.
So I love the fact that this campus has definitely elevated over the last 10, 15
No
years.
doubt.
And if you've never been or stepped foot on the Spencer campus, you'll be blown away. You're like, man, this is a high school? It's like, yeah, this is a high school right now. It's pretty incredible. We're going to take a break, Coach.
All right.
When we come back, we're going to talk about all the sports here at Spencer, what they accomplished last year, what they're looking forward to this year. It's Sitting with the Athletics Director, State of the Program. It's Coach Joseph Kegler of the Spencer Greenways right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Check out these great offers at Glenn Smith and Opelika.
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA, the GMC Sierra pickup. Right now, discounted up to $15,500 off. The roomy and comfortable compact SUV, the GMC Terrain, is up to $7,750 off.
Choose from over 400 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, with Sitting with the Athletics Director, State of the Program. I'm Thrift Barringer, and I'm here alongside Athletics Director and Head Football Coach of the Spencer Green Waves. His name is Joseph Kegler. Coach, let's start with football.
All right.
Okay, you won a region championship for the first time in a long time last year, and then you combated it with winning it back-to-back years. Winning seems to be like the new thing with Spencer. You've turned this program into one of the elite football programs in our area. How did that come about? Was it the staff? Was it having the players believe in your vision? And it seemed like it happened fairly quickly. You're in year 4, going in year 4 this year.
Right.
Okay, that means 2 of the 3 years you're region champs, and we were talking 10, 15, 20 years of not having that type of success. So what led to it being so quickly here at Spencer for you?
Oh, we got a great staff, first and foremost. I mean, I'm the head coach, but it's
Right.
the staff does a excellent job at all levels. Coach Bynum on defense, Coach Bynum, Coach Watley, Coach Wilson on defense do a wonderful job.
Yep.
Didn't mean to leave out Coach Brunson as well.
Yeah.
So those 4 on defense, they do a great job. It's something that takes that completely off my plate. I don't have to worry about it. Offensively, Coach Reese, Coach Carter, Coach Pickett, they do a wonderful job, and we do a good job as a staff of being friends off the field as well as being a staff on the field. So we enjoy being around each other and the camaraderie. So it's a good mix. So we were able to get a good job done. And the kids believing in the things we were giving them was extremely important. We had a great group of kids.
Unreal.
And the fact that they believed in what we were saying, it kind of helped us, kind of turn some corners faster than people expected.
Well, by the way, this upcoming year, 7 of the 8 schools in Muskogee County are in the same region.
Mm-hmm.
Carver's been back-to-back region champs. You're back-to-back region champs. Something's got to give this upcoming year. And then, by the way, Spencer and Carver are rivals, so cannot wait to see how this year pans out. You talked about your coaching staff, that cohesion, the group of guys that seem like y'all are all friends off the field, always having a good time. How cool is it to have a staff that believes in what you're doing and that goes out and gives that message that you've been preaching? Like, 'cause, sometimes with staffs, you have a vision, but
Right.
then your assistant coaches may deliver it a different way or have their own agendas. I don't feel like that's happening here, Spencer.
Well, the first thing, I left off coach not on purpose. Coach Johnson does a great job on offense as well. But back to your point, I think the biggest thing is we're trying to create the best student athlete we can make. And we're trying to create a great young man for once he graduates. And we're all on the same page as, how can we make this young man the best young man he can be once he's out of our hands? And, like I said earlier, we may disagree behind closed doors, but once we leave the room, everybody's on the same accord. What can we do to make all of these young men the best young men they can possibly be? And we've been fortunate to have a great group of young guys, and, we're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, you are, Coach. Offense, though, the last couple of years, you've had incredible offensive players. You are calling the plays. Is that correct, Coach?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Do you like the aspect of being head coach and the guy calling the plays? It seems like that's a thing that happens very frequently for football teams and football coaches.
Right.
You're the head coach. You're either going to be calling the defense or the offense.
Right.
Is that overwhelming sometimes, or do you like it? And how do you like the fact that now everybody thinks Spencer is one of the top offensive programs in our area?
We've been very fortunate the last couple of years, and I think it's not overwhelming because we do it together.
Right.
So, it might be that, like, I get the credit of calling the plays, but it's a collaborative, joint venture, so we're all doing it together. So, if anybody needs to step up or, hey, I got this going on today, I need to run here, I'm confident that the rest of the coaches can step up and I won't have to worry about it. We won't miss a beat.
you're replacing quite a few talented players, Coach, and you've been doing that. You did
Right.
it the year before with Tyson McDaniels and Veron Moody, Bashan Moody, not Veron, that's his brother. Shout out Veron, though.
Right.
You had to replace a lot of talented players from the year before, winning the first region championship sometime. This year, you're replacing the all-world quarterback in Gary Gaither. But it seems like y'all reload, Coach. You don't rebuild. Are you excited about the roster coming in hand? And how does it feel replacing a guy that's been your starter these last couple seasons?
I think the biggest part is the work that they've done, those guys kind of building that foundation. So it's kind of, they've built a foundation to kind of hand something down to the younger guys.
Right.
So it's kind of, we've kind of, I won't say haven't missed a beat, but it's kind of they understand the standard, understand the expectation with them being around the program because of the legacy that a Gary Gaither, a Dre Duncan,
Right.
T.J. Cochran, Tyson McDaniel, those kind of kids set forward for them. Like, hey, this is the way we're going to do it. This is the way we conduct business. So when they step in there, like, hey, this is the way it's been done. Let's keep moving and kind of move it forward from there.
Are you excited about, I got to ask you, Coach, are you excited about the new region next year? Are you excited the fact that you don't have to travel as much except for Central Macon? Do you like the fact that all the 7 of the 8 Columbus schools are in the same region next year?
Oh, definitely. It makes the trips a lot shorter.
Right.
Because, we go to Macon 3, 4, 5 times.
It's always.
And not on top of that, referees are kind of slanted towards Macon. So,
Right.
we'll get some more evenly officiated games. And, worst case scenario, we're 10 minutes from the game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm excited about it. It should be
Definitely.
a lot of fun. Moving on, I guess last question, expectation this year with your football program. Not really ask you wins and losses and stuff,
Right.
but what are you trying to accomplish with this group this year?
Just trying to keep moving forward. We went first round, second round. We just want to keep moving forward year by year.
Yep.
And like I said, we want to make ourselves one of the, programs that you talk about in the state.
Yeah, well, they do that, and definitely around this area, Coach, especially what you build, man. It's just year 4. It's incredible what you've laid the foundation, the culture. So this will be your first graduating class this year that's been
Correct.
there since their freshman year. So
Right.
excited to see what these guys have in store for us. All right, let's go to softball because that's going to be played in the fall. Who's leading that program, Coach?
Coach Savanis is leading that. This is her first year taking over.
Okay.
So she played collegiate softball as well.
Okay.
So we're excited to see what she can do with the program. So we're excited to we'll have a young group of girls. So she's doing a lot of teaching, but we're excited about the work she's put in and how they're going to turn out when the season starts.
And it's always awesome to have coaches that have experience, like
Definitely.
you talked about when you played at that level. So then you can tell them, hey, I made it to the college level, and this is what it
Right.
takes. Either you're going to put in the effort or you don't care about playing college
Correct.
softball or football, whatever it may be. Cross country, who leads that program?
Coach Aldner, he does that. He's done it the last 3 years. So he does a wonderful job with that. We had a couple kids qualify for state. I think we had 5 girls qualify for state last
Nice.
year. So we're looking forward to adding a couple of boys and seeing if we can get a few more girls to qualify for state as well.
I'm going to say it again. I think I've said it every interview. I commend all those cross country people.
Oh, no doubt.
Coach, the running, and then it's in the hottest part of the daggum year. I mean, these athletes, I would
And it's way
recommend it on
less
anyone.
fanfare.
Yeah, and then less fanfare. You don't
Correct.
get a lot of exposure. And sometimes it's hard to keep up with too because of where they're being ran at and stuff
Right.
like that. So we commend all the cross country athletes. Flag football, that's big around here, Coach.
Right.
You've seen it. There's been a lot of teams that won state in this area. It's awesome to be a part of. Who's leading that program? How excited are
So
you?
Coach Allen is taking over this year
Okay.
flag football. He's played flag football all across the country.
Yep.
So we're definitely excited about it. We went to the playoffs a couple of years ago, so we're definitely excited about where he can kind of take our program and
Yep.
kind of move forward because he's a perfectionist. So, we're going to get the best out of the girls, and we're going to keep moving forward.
And you also got volleyball. So you got softball, you got volleyball, and flag football, really all the fall sports. Now,
Yep.
flag football starts like October, November, but it's still like, I know it's hard for these coaches because they're really picking from
Same kids.
Same kids that
Right.
play all different sports. So who's leading the volleyball program? And they literally, just like softball, start before school starts and then right as school's starting, they don't even get a couple days to get acclimated to school. They're already playing games.
So Coach Pam Smith will be leading volleyball. She's
Nice.
done it the last 3 years. No, excuse me. She's done it since I've been here, but she's done it more than 3 years.
Right.
But they've actually hosted the region tournament here the last 2 years.
Nice.
So we're looking forward to seeing, being in the same region with a lot of schools around here, putting our best foot forward and, hosting another region tournament here and getting back to state.
Yeah, that's the goal, is getting back to state, getting these kids to the next level. From fall, we go to winter, and I guess we'll start with basketball. obviously everybody knows about the winning ways of the basketball program. The last 5 to 6 years, Coach Allen's done a great job coming back and taking over, winning a region championship last year. Talk about him and Coach Cinch and what they mean to this school and to those programs.
All right, so girls basketball was a region runner-up last year. We got to the second round in the state playoffs.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to trying to take a next step. We know it's a tough region, but she's been working hard all summer. So we're looking forward to, how we're gonna, pan out with some of the better teams in the state.
Yeah.
Same thing with Coach Allen. Like I just said, he's a perfectionist, so he's really been in the lab getting to work. So he's constantly on it. So he's gonna have a lot of double duty with flag football and basketball. But like I said, sometimes I think he doesn't sleep. But so like I said, we definitely couldn't do it without him. So he's excited about where we're gonna be at for basketball season. So we're looking forward to some big games and some local competition. So come out and support the Green Wave.
He is all about the kids. He's all about promoting Spencer. You got to have a Coach Allen on your staff.
No doubt.
You got to have guys like him. Wrestling and swimming don't get near the limelight. All the other sports do, but who leads those programs and the respect that they deserve for how they've done here at Spencer?
So Coach Pickett leads wrestling.
Coach Pickett coaches a lot.
Yeah, he does. So he coaches wrestling, but we had 4 kids go to state last year. So we're trying to add to that number, trying to grow the program back to where it was before we got here. Swimming is done by Coach Jones, so she does a wonderful job as well. She enjoys being in the water and swimming, teaching the kids. So it's a kind of a match made in heaven. She enjoys being there. She enjoys working with the kids, so it's kind of, goes hand in hand.
I like wrestling and swimming matches. I know you have to go to them. Coach, do you enjoy watching those athletes compete at the highest level?
Definitely.
No doubt, man. Moving on from spring, let's go to spring now.
Okay.
We got soccer. Who leads the soccer programs? And they've actually been pretty good these last couple seasons. So
boys soccer won the region last year.
Yep.
So, and girls went to the first round of the state playoffs.
Wow.
So Coach Allen and Coach Koshney will coach soccer. They do a great job. They kind of feed off of each other, and they're able to work together. Kind of that cohesiveness helps and kind of blends into the program. So they do a great job with that.
Track and field.
Track and field to be Coach Quarterman. She's been assistant the last couple of years, so she's going to take over and kind of run the program. So she has an extensive track background, so we're excited to see where she's going to take the program. And like I said earlier, our girls were the region runner-up. Our boys came in, I want to say, 4th in the region. So we're looking to take that next step forward and kind of keep moving forward and move the program forward.
Yeah, and going to state is a big thing. But track and field, man, that's a lot of athletes you're in charge of, a lot of events you got to coach. So I commend Coach Quarterman taking over that program. The baseball program, you said Coach Pickett, who, by the way, I just got to say this. Spencer Kendrick baseball game, we broadcast.
The longest Georgia-Alabama sports live game in history.
I give Richard credit. He was there for 5.5 hours, Coach, and 27 to 26.
That game was shorter than the first game.
Holy smokes.
So the first game was actually 30 minutes longer. So, yeah, he deserves a lot of credit for being there.
Let's talk about Coach Pickett and how he's doing with the baseball program.
All right, so we're on the rise in baseball. We were able to win 2 games last year. So it wasn't the goal that we wanted, but, we're moving in the right direction. We got a lot of kids who
are interested.
Correct. Well, a lot of kids came out there for the first time last year. So next year, this upcoming year, they'll have some experience under their belts, and we can compete a little better in the region we're moving in now. Yeah,
and it's not about wins and losses, Coach, because these are kids that maybe never had an opportunity to play baseball anywhere else. They're interested in it, and just giving them an opportunity to learn the game, that is a win in my book.
Learn the game and do it the right way.
Yeah, and I think Coach Pick is doing a great job at that. Let's talk about tennis and golf. Who leads those programs?
All right, so tennis is done by Miss Hall. She has a background in tennis, so she loves being at the court, so she does a great job just because she wants to be there anyway.
Right.
So, that's 9/10 of it. If you want to be out there doing it, you're going to put your all into it.
Right.
Golf is done by Coach Guest. He's a Spencer graduate, so he does a great job as well. So, those 2 things that, we're moving in the right direction with.
All right, Coach, we hit on all the sports this year. What are some of the things you would like to see your athletes and you're getting better. You're talking about moving forward every year. What are some things you want to see move forward? It's more wins and losses. Is it getting guys to the next level, maybe getting better at their craft? What's some of the things you really want to see from all the sports this year heading into 24-25?
At the end of the day, it's like I said at the beginning, wins and losses are great. But if we can get 100% of our student athletes the opportunity to play at the next level, then in my book, nothing's going to beat that.
Yeah, I don't think so either, Coach. And having the ability to these players getting college scholarships to make a career of themselves, I know that's excited for you. When you see and you have signing days and stuff like that, is that one of your proudest moments when you're an athletics director?
Most proud moment. I mean, because you see a kid kind of living a dream. You know, they're able to possibly change the outlook for their family going forward, you know, depending on what they've been through. So at the end of the day, you know, we always tell the kids, not necessarily where you come from, is where you're going.
Coach, what are ways that alumni, people that are parents now, or just anyone that's in the community that wants to give back, that wants to help out with Spencer, whether it be financial, whether it be donations, whether it be volunteering their time, how are ways they can go about doing that, Coach?
You can email me at kegler.joseph@muskogeacounty.k12.gaus. You can call the schools, 706-683-8701. We're always available. If you can't get me directly, they'll get a message to me, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can.
All right, Coach. I do got to ask this question. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you're a bright mind. You got a lot of great connections, and you're really close with Del McGee, who's up at Georgia State. By the way, me and DJ were doing our show there. We saw you on the sideline. Is there ever in the back of your mind an opportunity to move on to the college level, or you're happy with where you're at now, and if anything does come up, you'll try to tackle it when it does?
I'm extremely happy with where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, my feet are firmly planted on the campus of Spencer High School, and that's where I plan on my feet staying planted.
But when you were, let's go back to your early days of playing. Was this your ultimate goal, Coach, to be an AD, to be a head coach? What was your dream back in the day, outside of playing in the NFL and stuff like that?
I mean, that was my biggest dream, to play in the NFL.
Right.
So when I came back home, you know, it was kind of like, well, what am I going to do now? And, you know, God kind of put it in my path to be a coach, and, you know, I've been in love with it ever since. So I kind of feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
And that's pretty cool that, you know, a lot of people that say they get into this profession for the wrong reasons. Seems like you didn't do that. This was a calling for you from the very beginning. Is that what you're saying, Coach?
I definitely feel like that. After that NFL dream was over, it's kind of like, you know, this is where you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to do. And I kind of, you know, been rolling with it ever since.
You think a lot of had to do with your mentors, like Coach Davis, and people that really had a big effect on your life? They were coaches that led you to that. What do you think ultimately led you to get into the coaching, or it just happened and you were like, you know what, I might as well try this out, and then you ended up being pretty good at it, Coach?
I've always enjoyed working with kids. So I was working at the Boys and Girls Club when I was in high school.
Okay.
So, you know, from leaving there, it's kind of like when you see a kid grow to another level or grow into a more mature person, it's kind of like that's the biggest satisfaction you get. So I've kind of always enjoyed just seeing that maturation as they're moving forward.
All right, Coach. This is to the alumni, the players, the coaches. You know, they're all going to be watching this. A lot of people like watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live, especially for their respected school.
Right.
This is your call to them, your PSA about what's the expectations for this year, 24-25, and what y'all are trying to accomplish as a staff, not just football, but as a staff and as sports as a whole here for the Green Waves.
We want everybody from Green Wave Nation to get together and ride the wave. We want to ride the wave as far as we can ride it. We want green and gold everywhere we go. We want the fans. We want the family. We want the alumni. We want support. We want everybody there. So let's all get together and let's ride the wave.
And I got to ask, the Office Hours podcast.
Right.
It's going to be, I don't think it's a secret, it'll be a part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live this upcoming year. Looking forward to seeing you,
Definitely.
Coach McCoy, Coach Anson Hunley, Coach Mills. Talk about that relationship you have with all the other ADs, and how important is that? Because I know now you're really going to be competing against each other, Coach, because you're all in the same region. But I think y'all all still work well together. You still bounce off ideas. In the end, it's about getting kids to the next level. Is that right, or are y'all kind of standoffish during the season? How is that like now this year, all y'all basically being in the same region?
It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's always good to have, you know, the conversation and the back and forth with someone who's going through the same issues you are on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So it's kind of easy, or it makes you feel like you're not, you know, going crazy if you're, you know, going through this or going through that, because they're going through the same thing at their school. It might not be the exact same, but it's something similar. So at some point, we're going to communicate every day.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed between us.
Coach Mills, Coach McCoy, Coach Hunley, y'all came up with this idea, starting a podcast. Did you think you were going to enjoy that? Did you think that sitting around, just having a podcast, shooting the crap, really, that's what we do? I mean,
No
we're
doubt.
just spooting. I do the same thing. We just spew off hot takes. We're just having fun. Did you think you would enjoy doing it and it be as successful as it has been?
So it was funny. We were just talking about it on the way back from a leadership conference. Like, we should do a podcast about all the stuff we do on a day-to-day basis. And it kind of just snowballed from there, and it's kind of been, you know, really enjoyable to do it. So
How's it feel interviewing people? Like, I'm interviewing you now, Coach,
Right.
being on the other side of that, asking questions, and y'all do a great job of it.
Right.
How's it like doing that?
I mean, it's enjoyable. You know, like I said, it's always good to see people having the same issues or going through the same things you're going through. So, you know, it kind of justifies or gives you an idea that what you're doing is the right thing.
And you promote Muskogee County athletics.
Always.
That's one of the biggest things, the reason for this. And it's a platform for now that's going to be on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's a platform that all Muskogee County coaches throughout this upcoming year, that's going to be our coaches show.
We want all of y'all to be there.
That is open for you, so no one get upset. No one saying you're not showing me love, you're showing this school. It is not like that. Everybody's going to get an opportunity, and that's what we want to be able to do.
Right.
And Coach, I got it. You know, Georgia Alabama Sports Live has 16 schools that we cover.
Right.
I can't do every coach's show, and people get tired of seeing my face. So it's awesome to be able to have y'all be able to do that and be at the forefront. You did a great job with it last year, interviewing people, and now just taking it to another level. It's on all podcast platforms, and then you can watch them live coming up here in the near future. Excited about it, Coach.
Can't wait to get started.
All right, his name is Coach Joseph Kegler. He's back-to-back region champs, and he is looking forward to this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Coach, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. This is Sitting with Athletics Director, State of the Program, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. We'll see you next time. See you later, everybody.